Well, if you spent any time along parts of Lake Ontario last week, you may have smelled something fishy. Thousands of dead fish washed up along the shore, leaving some residents wondering why. As Natalie Kutchko explains, it's a fairly common occurrence, and she tells us what's behind it all.
It's not exactly ideal for smooth sailing. Thousands of dead fish could be seen last week on the Lake Ontario shoreline, including West Webster. News 8 Chief Meteorologist Eric Snidel brought this to his Facebook page, where many of you shared you'd seen the same thing. As the DEC explains, it's all part of a seasonal die-off.
It is normal to see some fish die-offs in the spring in Lake Ontario. Typically, the fish that we see most often, and it is the fish we're seeing this year, is alewife. So alewife are not native to Lake Ontario, and they're at the very northern end of their geographic range.
DEC Lake Ontario Unit Leader Chris Legard says alewife fish are susceptible to die-offs in the spring because during the winter, they'll live in the deepest waters of Lake Ontario, and with a change in temperature comes a change in their life cycle.
In the springtime, when the lake starts to warm up, the fish move inshore, and they move into areas of warmer water. But then the wind shifts, it blows the warmer water out, and pretty rapidly we can get cold water that comes in and has a major temperature change. It shocks the fish's system and leads to these die-offs.
This natural occurrence isn't influenced by human activity or pollution, strictly water temps, which officials say is a driving factor almost every year.
We typically see it, in most years at some levels. We see larger events when there are more alewife in the lake. And we do, with U.S. Geological Survey, Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources, and New York State DEC, do a collaborative assessment of prey fish in Lake Ontario every year. In the last couple of years, we've seen increased numbers of alewife in the lake, so it isn't quite surprising that we're seeing larger numbers of fish in the spring die-off as well.